Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin, and today we're on episode 104 of Season 2 of the Utopian Community Series. Of Season 2. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to finish the 10th floor. Once floor 10 has been completed, like the main part, I'd start throwing water at it. Or layer 5. Layer 5. I'm doing this layer by layer. Eventually, I know this is gonna be a long process. Bear with me. If you think it's right as a parent to let your child go out and fight at school, you shouldn't be having kids. At all. Unless the fighting is necessary, like if there's not enough food. Or water if there's not enough of either of those. Because, you know, millions of people around the world are struggling to make ends meet. Why is it so hard for people to make ends meet? Sometimes it's hard because there's not enough food for them to keep going, which means they end up dying. When you starve a worker into submission, they're not going to be as productive. Because why? They're too weak. It's not just that they're not willing to work like that. It's that a lot of times they're too weak to work. Whenever you're too weak to work, that's when things can go awry. The truth about gun control is it's not a left-wing, right-wing issue, it's a civil liberty. It's a liberty versus authority issue. Whenever food scarcity happens on a large scale, like throughout the entire continent, the whole continent goes into full-on anarchy. The whole world will probably end up going into anarchy. Basically like the scene from Repentless by Slayer, but on a much larger scale. This is what happens when we don't do anything about climate change. We're gonna see water wars happen. We are social animals, but our social structure will collapse. If there's not enough food to keep that social group running. Because there needs to be enough food. Think of that experiment, that Utopia experiment with 8 mice. That 8 mice ended up becoming a lot more mice. Because mice multiply very quickly. This is what happens if humans become too overpopulated, like go well beyond carrying capacity. Not only we would go into anarchy over food, but disease would spread like wildfire. They'd be hard to control. They become really hard to control. Hard to control. Don't need that. One of those diseases that'll spread like wildfire would be tuberculosis, which is very common. Some diseases like TB are very hard to control. What causes wars to break out? Food scarcity will drive wars of the future. That is because, like animals, we need to compete if food is scarce. Like, physically. It becomes necessary to fight over it. Just like with that Utopia experiment with the 8 mice. If we were under Sharia law, things would go pretty awry. What makes it so hard for us to eradicate bacterial infections? Because of something called antibiotic resistance. Trying to eradicate infectious diseases is really hard. One of the factors with the anti-vaxxers on the measles outbreak, some of it has to do with religion. Some of it is... There are some religious critiques towards anti-vaxxer, towards opposing vaccination. One of those critiques is related to faith healing, which is something I oppose. Because there's some Christian fundamentalist groups that oppose any form of modern medicine on any level. Whether it be vaccination or vaccinating children or treating infectious diseases. Relying on faith healing. You know, if America was under Sharia law, my content would probably be censored. They'd be censored. If I was the King of England, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd give animals royal treatment. I'd keep the mice population under control. I'd give the animals royal treatment. Just like that Prince of Saudi Arabia, who is vegan. I favor veganism. My question on thou shalt not kill is, should it apply to everyone? Even if they commit a crime? The answer? Yes. Should it apply to if the victim committed a crime? The answer is definitely yes. Even though I'm not a Christian, I still agree that thou shalt not kill should justify the opposition to capital punishment. Like, going against capital punishment. I oppose the use of capital punishment personally. If you think capitalism is human nature, the answer is wrong. That is because the precursors to capitalism in America was never a democracy to begin with. To prove that, slave owners had more political power than slaves. They had more political power than the slaves. With the slaves, a lot of them didn't even have the right to vote. One of the special interests the government's trying to go for in America are those who want to bring back slavery. I personally oppose slavery because it's kind of cruel. I'd compare capitalism to slavery. Its more horrific precursor. Slavery should be banned around the world. Laws against slavery should be enforced at all costs. You know, laws against animal abuse when it goes to intensive animal farming are really hard to enforce. That is because you're dealing with, as a farmer, you're dealing with a large amount of animals. It's hard to, it's next to impossible to take care of all of them. Some of them will die. It's hard to prevent the deaths of any of those animals. I know it doesn't talk about Minecraft or anything, but this farm would be entirely vegan. You don't need to teach religion in schools. You shouldn't schools should not recite verses in the Bible, nor should they recite verses in the Quran. Adultery is natural, actually. It's not just humans that commit adultery, mice are known to do that too. It's natural for people to commit adultery. Adultery is human nature. But greed is mostly nurture. Violence, on the other hand, is animal nature. Why I say animal nature? That is because we're not the only ones that have violent tendencies. Other animals like mice, rats, yes, even lions are known for being pretty violent. Lions are never docile. That is because they're pretty hostile towards zebras. A zebra is basically a wild striped horse. If you go to Tijuana, Mexico, one of those shows involves a woman fucking a horse. And it's a woman fucking a horse. And I get there, and it's a woman fucking a horse. And it's a woman fucking a horse. I get there, we get there, and it's a I like to... It's one of those scenes from the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Seth Rogen's a pretty good actor. He's a pretty good actor. One of my favorite moments from Seth Rogen is when he is talking about that donkey show in Tijuana, Mexico. It's about a woman fucking a horse. It's actually kind of gross. I kind of felt bad for both the woman and the horse. I kind of felt bad for that woman. I also felt bad for the horse. It's a woman fucking a horse in one of those shows in Tijuana, Mexico. I know it's kind of gross, but if I had enough money, I'd take a trip to Tijuana to see it for myself. Just like that scene from the 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's hilarious, yet really inappropriate. It's kind of gross.
I love animals, but some people take it way too far. But some people take things really far. I already got the main part of the floor done. Now all I have to do is fill it up with water. And George's neck goes to Disney World with Corpse Grinder. Yes, I'm making a joke about his massive neck. Anyways, that should be it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. Dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe for more. Share this with your comrades on social media. Follow me on Instagram for more, and as always, thank you for watching, stay tuned for more, and peace out.